It's a real big one right here. It's a real big one right here. Sober fun. Sober fun. I thought I could never have sober fun. I thought, I had to be drinking, using drugs, and, being loud and arguing in a good way. There's no football or, we had an amusement park or just out with the fellas or family gathering. I thought I had to always be drinking something, smoking something, or whatever the case may be. I was scared to death, when I got clean. How was I going to have fun? What was I going to do? I was used to hanging with the fellas. I was used to, all of us in the car. I was just at the cookout, the beer, the liquor, the cranberry juice and Ciroc. Now that I got my life together, how was I going to have fun? And I realized, once my body start, the metamorphosis of my body and the way my mind was thinking, I was like, oh my God, I feel so good. And then what actually happens, it pushes you. I talked about in another video, people, places, and things. It gradually pushes you away from the people who actually doing all that type of stuff. So now, just going to the mall by myself, getting something to eat, just laughing because I don't have to put stuff in my body is sober fun. Let alone just going to football games and basketball games that I really didn't even have money to go with anyway. Just going in my pocket, pulling out a couple hundred, a couple $1,000, taking my kids here. And a good laugh. Y'all know what a good laugh is? A good laugh is when you sober and clean and you don't have to worry about and rely on putting stuff in your body to feel a certain way. I never laughed so hard at jokes at a movie, at watching TV. You know what I'm saying? Or just in the mall with my family, or or going on vacation, and laughing and joking and I realized that, I didn't need none of that stuff anyway. My wife, she loves sports. I mean, we go to baseball games, football games. We watch it on TV. We anticipate, our vacation. You know what I'm saying? We sit in the house and cut up over nothing. You know what I'm saying? And me just talking on the phone with people I ain't talked to in a long while. And baby, to hold a conversation, without ready to start going through withdrawals, eating good food, cooking good food, you know what I'm saying? Sitting in a house in solitude, you know what I'm saying? Getting a call out the blue, you know what I'm saying? Taking a long ride, in my truck when I ain't had transportation, you know what I'm saying? Just randomly getting with good people that you just start meeting, not that the people that in your previous life, if you will, are bad people, Like, oh, what you want to do this weekend? Oh, man, it's whatever, going to the flea market, shopping, and it's just sober fun, Like, it's a lot you can do, where you don't need drugs and alcohol. And I was one of them people that thought I did, like today, I'm going to the gym, trying to, build up my body, I ain't no spring chicken no more, Then now I done met my gym friends, and then we done kind of got cool, And did you see that game last night? And just all this just good sober fun, that you don't need like a beer or drugs and alcohol. It's just so rewarding, the fun that you thought you couldn't have, because I'm having way more fun sober than I ever did on drugs and alcohol. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to the game this weekend, and me and my wife planning a vacation, and I done went rowing and sailboating and been to Paris and took pictures under the Eiffel Tower, and just laughing and joking and, body feel good. It's a lot of sober fun out here that, like I say, I'm living proof that you can have sober fun without putting anything toxic in your body, Like I said, so that's one of the big rewards, you know. It's just, you know, take it one day at a time. It's a lot of sober fun out here, you know, that I thought, you know, so don't think, you know, because that pushes a lot of people back, you know, to relapse, and they think, you know, they can't be the life of the party no more if they don't got that gin and juice in them, or if they ain't smoked that blunt, or they ain't take a couple hits of cocaine or heroin, you know. Now people not gonna receive me. I'm not gonna be funny no more. You know what I mean? And here it is. I'm funnier than I ever been. You know, I ain't got to put nothing in me. You know what I'm saying? People always, you know, asking where I'm at if I ain't at an event. You know, we have fun with him. You know what I'm saying? Bring him back. You know, and at one point in time, you know, I thought I had to put something up in me to, you know, put on a performance. You know, and now I'm just natural. You know, I'm just natural. I'm just, you know, waking up good, going to bed good, you know what I'm saying? My head clear, you know, life is meaningful, you know. So sober fun, you know, that's a big one, and that actually scares a lot of people, thinking, you know, I need to put something up in me to, you know, to you putting on a performance for real. If you really think about it, you putting on a performance under false pretenses. You know what I'm saying? So you can have sober fun. So do not let you know, your fun, your sobriety, your life, you know, get in the way, you know, of, you know, you thinking you gotta, you know, put these substances in your body to have fun.